Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Eagles to Glory. Today we are going to fight Salamanca battle, and this is the table, and the forces are just deployed according to the historical deployment for what the table may allow. And essentially here we are the French, and in a second I will show you, and back up there there are the British down here. Okay, the objective for this game is Los Arapil. The town here, the small town here, is a viewer, but can guess 2 battalion rather than a usual one. Then the 2 main hill, the Harapils and the Chico Harapil down there, plus 2 objectives just for the French. Down there you can see number 4 and the number 5, the roads to Salamanca. This is the objective of Marshal Mormont, but the main points came from Los Arapil here and the 2 hills. As I say, the forces are deployed historically, so we have here close to the Calavera de Hariba, sorry for my Spanish pronunciation, the 1st Division of Foy, then the 3rd Division of Viray, the Dragoon Division led by Bonnet with his 8th Division, the 2nd Division of Clausel, the 4th Division of Sarou, the 6th and the 4th Monanda and Macoun, then a large division of light cavalry led by Curto, and the Thomiéres with its 7th Division. In front of them Wellington and his Portuguese, British and Spanish force. The 5th Division of Leith was the bait that Wellington offered to Mormont to force the attack, and then the entire force behind the hills, the crest of the hillock. So the 7th Division of Hope, the 1st Division of Campbell, 4th Division of Cole, the cavalry of Cotton on the top of the hill, and then back the light division protecting the flank of Alton, and the 6th Division of Reserve of Clinton that protecting the road. We have the Spanish Division that probably will sit here and do nothing for the entire game, and Packham with the 3rd Division protect this road to Salamanca, and that's it. The game will last 22 turns, or some if someone break less than this, and all the divisions start with 35 point for the command and initiative, and the Dragoon of the French have a D quality due to the poor mount that they have. And that's it. Now we're proceeding to the first stage of the battle. Point wise, the 2 roads that the French should conquer and are objective only for them grant 50 points each. 50 points per sector, so a total of 100 points for Los Arapil here, and this objective is for both the army. Then 30 points for the Grand Arapil and 30 points for the Chico Arapil, and that is the point that this battle grant. And then every infantry battalion grant a victory point if destroyed by the opponent. And that's it. So if the army get less than 50 points, it's a draw. From 15 to 150 is a minor victory from one side. More than 150 is a major victory from one side. And that's it. Now proceeding to start the battle. This is a scenario over an interesting point of view of rewriting the history. First of all, because Thomiéres will not blunder as he did in history, and Mormont will not start the battle wounded and quickly outside the equation. So it will be interesting to see if the French could manage to defeat the British. And the plan here is to get Los Arapil as soon as possible, while the other part of this long distant French can get both the hills, and then after getting this and try to hold this, they will see they manage to assault at least one of the two roads, but it's hard not to crack the British position, which has no real need to move quickly because they can get the Los Arapil and then wait the French in defensive position. But they have to get point in order to win, so we will see what will happen during the game. So now the initiative for the first round is won by the British, who let the French to start first. So we'll see at the end of a couple of turns, because the first turns will be quite uneventful. So I'll back in a second and a turn 3 or 4. At the end of the second turn, the situation has just evolved quite well. Let me say that all French activate quite easily, set aside a couple of setback that stop division in the first and second turn, but nothing tragic. The first blood is for French. The Curto light cavalry division is moved and the horse artillery can shoot. And with a show of luck at the roll of 1, it destroyed the Portuguese battery in front of them of the 5th Division. The 5th Division has moved forward. I forgot to mention that the river are in reality streams fordable, so they can you can see battalion into them. They are slowed down because they are quite a rough terrain, but it is fordable. Okay. Everything's going well on this side for the moment. The Thomiéres division has moved forward and set in defensive position to protect Los Arapil, which was controlled at the moment by men of the 5th Division of Macun, which also prepared the defense of the village. The heavy cavalry is moved forward with one roll of at the double, and now is threatening the hill. And the first British division was forced to move forward to take a better position before deciding if to go in square or not. They will take the risk to being charged by this dragoon. They put in front the less effective unit, left the Highlander and the guard on the back to eventually counter-strike, and put the 2 battery in sight of Los Arapil. The big hill was taken by the men of the 2nd Division of Clausel, and the 1st and 3rd Division is marching forward. And the plan is to left the 2nd Division controlling the big Arapil, the large Arapil, and move the rest forward. The 8th Division and the 4th Division is moving to support both the flank of the French army. They are likely slowed down at the moment, but they will be the French reserve in the end. For the British, I have to say that Wellington was cautious in his movement and left some of his troops without taking action. He moved the 4th, 6th and Light Division towards the Arapil, and the 1st Division to take the hill and protect the crest of the hill, then try to support the attack of the 4th Division into the town of Los Arapil. So we will see. The 7th Division at the moment was left in reserve, as so did for the heavy cavalry, but probably it will be forced to move to counter the Curto large cavalry formation in front of them, have to protect the flank, and the 3rd Division have to move forward, not because it's in danger, but because maybe it come to an end as a support later on, and they wanted to have so much road to cover later on. That's it for the 2nd turn, and now moving on. I'm forgetting that I have another horse artillery here moving with this horse division, and it's fire. Roll another one and destroy one of the battalion, and in the center it's fire during the attack phase. is very, very effective. So first blood for the French, and two roll is very good roll. I hope that will not be the only one of the game. So moving into third turn and see what will happen. The bold French order charge with its heavy cavalry on the top of the hill, which is not rough terrain, okay, is not rough terrain, and here also other charge declared. But Wellington largely won the initiative, and he rolled a 1 to activate the first division, which means a 2, so they stay where they are. So he's forced to use one of his cards for a command reroll. Deep bombardment phase of the artillery. So one French artillery put a disorder in one of the battalion, and the Portuguese destroy one battalion from the Thomiéres unit. The rest of the artillery fire is quite ineffective, and that's it for the bombardment. Then the British was won the initiative as roll a 1 for the first division that want to desperately go into square to protect the first line of infantry from cavalry charge, but they roll a 1, and so Wellington was forced to spend his first card to command reroll and then get a regular movement, and this allow his men to form the square up of the hill, which are not rock ground, set aside the Chico and the large Arapil. And that's it. Now proceeding to the turn. At the end of the turn, the two Chasseurs and Cheval has disordered the two heavy cavalry, which in return did nothing and was pushed back. Here, these two dragoons destroy 2 battalions, cook them in the flank, and that's it for the melee. It's quite a lot of points lost for the British, which activating first managed to go into square with all the battalion on the hill, and here so some of the charge was recovered. And now moving into the another turn, and now the things start to get odd because the two armies are close and ready to strike each other. It's another interesting turn. Here the cavalry, only 2 cavalry charge each other, and was a desultory fight because no one kill each other, and both are returning back in disorder. The British advance with all its front or move better to its division to take a position in a better spot, but nothing else happened. The Coal division is suffering tremendously by the fire, the charge, and now is reduced to just 1 British battalion, and its Portuguese supported division is quite gone, and the melee from the Leger here has destroyed another British battalion, but the other one not in heaven. The Light Brigade has taken the Chico Arapil with some of its unit, but the battery fire has repulsed back the 95th down the hill, but the 1st Division rolled poorly, so cannot take the uphill in this turn. The rest of the French move forward a good pace, set aside the 8th Division, which not only is on the stream, so in a bad terrain, but also stubbornly continue to roll half of their movement. So okay, there are the reserves, but the reserves needed to be in place, like the 3rd British Division, which in 2 turn has covered as that terrain. So it is moving into the next turn. What a turn for the French. The entire force advanced and engaged the British line in several points, while the 2 cavalry clash in the middle between the 2 river and this crossing here. 2 light cavalry charge, an heavy cavalry, and another heavy cavalry which have just moved and no charge. A desultory affair, so they fall back, disorder, and nothing happened. Here eliminated each other, and so one light and one heavy cavalry are destroyed, while some light cavalry has moved over the river, and same did some heavy cavalry for the British. The 3rd Division entered in square to prevent any charge. The 7th Division entered into firefight against the British 5th, and the 2 battalions were destroyed, while one of the French was pushed back in disorder. A charge for the cavalry here destroyed this artillery of the 1st Division. But the bloodiest affair is in the middle, where Cole Division suffered other 2 battalion crush. Just 3 left in the division, and even the Light Brigade suffered 3 casualties from the firefight erupted by the French Leger and the British to control the Chicos Harapil. So lots of points lost by the British this turn, but the dice of the French roll very low, lots of 2 and 3, so the British pay the price in this turn, but we'll see if they can react in the subsequent turn. Now moving into it. It was another bloody turn. Here the light cavalry is going down in divisional point and also suffer destroyed battalion by the heavy cavalry. But to compensate this, one heavy battalion was destroyed by the fire of this unit here. The French engaged not in melee but a firefight and managed to destroy a unit here, so 2 points per side. On the center, the 5th Division exit the village and started to attack the hills on that side, but is on the Chico Arapil that most happening, because the division of Cole routed Rolling One and his status not help them. Then the 6th Division is fighting for the Chico Arapil and to try to stop the 3rd Division of Ferré. But despite the +1 to the attack roll, they suffer 1 destroyed battalion here, managed to destroy one of the battalion up the hill with the artillery of the 6th Division and a disorder battalion here, while the 2 French assault up on the hill and destroy one of the Portuguese square, and 1 battalion of infantry de ligne was repelled. And that's it for the turn. The British are suffering, and it has to start to move. The 7th Division is moving in this side to help to contain the French attack, and the hill is threatened under the heavy cavalry. Exit to the square could be very dangerous, but something must be done by Wellington, otherwise his center is slowly collapsing, and his hope is based on how long his heavy cavalry can hold at bay the horde of light cavalry of Curto. And that's it at the moment. The Spanish was called forward to try to hold the road as long as possible and take better position to do this maybe in the later turn. Now we'll see if the Cole will recover or is still rout, and this rout could be significantly the end of this division here. So we say, oh, and the light brigade extract themselves, but it's battered, and even if they have lots of points, they are less effective, at least in melee, maybe with some fire in the skirmish phase. So we'll see. Moving into the next turn. The main news of the turn is the 5th British Division is routed, so that the 7th and 6th French Division has moved forward, pushing themselves into the British territory, especially in the British center, and this could threat both the flank. Here we have heavy cavalry, but Cotton's heavy cavalry is reduced to 13 division points, so it's hard for him to be activated, and plus the unresolutive fight against the light cavalry left both the side without any real power. Probably they will struggle to activate later on. This is disorder and this is disorder, because they return where they come without any real harm each other. On the center, the 5th Division managed to dislodge the battery, disordering, but to take one casualty in return from the square. On that side, the guard was repelled in disorder by the fire from this unit of line infantry down here. The 3rd Division failed to activate, so they cannot move nor remove the disorder for this unit here. 8th Division is moving forward, is pushing across the river and beside Los Arapel to put pressure, mount pressure into the hill. And on the far left, cool recover, and the skirmish fire from 6th Division and 1st and 6th French Division caused one casualty per side, but many of the 6th Division were pushed back in disorder by the French fire. And that's put an end to this turn and moving into another one with the British situation not tragic but not good at all. The fighting for the main hill above Los Arapel is bloody, with casualty mounted in the 5th French Division, but also in the 1st Division it lost one battalion. The rest of the fight down here is irrelevant, no casualty per side, while the 6th British Division recover, moving back to not face the French first on the top of the Chico Arapel. Here the 6th Division failed to receive the order and to activate, while again the cavalry managed to kill one battalion of the 7th Division, but the rest of the fight was irrelevant and only divisional point was spent. The artillery here was destroyed and was left here by the cavalry, so other 2 points take out from the Cotton Division. And that is for this turn, and we're moving into the 9th turn. The center is the point where Mormont has decided to push hard. He's entering the 8th and the 4th Division in support of the 6th, of the 3rd, which is suffering, but casualty is from both sides. A couple of casualties for the French, a couple of casualties for the British. Here the 6th Division struggled to move in this maze of a stream and ford and difficult ground. They move half of the movement, while the 7th Division managed to activate and put themselves into square and take some better position. The gamble do not pay for the British, which pass its morale to recover from disorder, but nothing to charge in, and Curto remain stationary. He won't risk anything. On the Chico Sarapel, the 6th Division has moved forward, but not well enough to engage on all front, and nothing happened on that side, and that put an end to the 9th turn, moving into the 10th turn. Despite both 4th and 8th French Division fail to activate, the 1st Division started to collapse. The 1st British Division started to collapse. Only the Guard and the Highlander held the ground. The rest of the division broke out, and the 7th Division has moved forward to take the line, but even if this turn the French is not moving on, the pressure is enormous on the center of Wellington, and on his side the 6th Division take casualty, the inflict casualty, one per side. 3rd Division take one battalion by the Portuguese in support, and lost one battalion by the Leger of the 1st Division. The Chico Arapel at the moment is safely in French hand. and so is the second one, with one battalion left to guard the hill, and the second division in reinforcement is practically very fresh. The Spanish stick a line of defense. The 6th French division again struggle to move forward. It's only just a tree, and with the poor terrain they creep forward rather than move. 3rd Division of Pakenham sent some of his battalion across the river, but ruled poorly. The rest remain in a square because despite the French is not activated, there are so many cavalry that the lucky roll could ruin the right of Wellington, which is in real danger because it's hard for him to grab its objective, and even risk that the French take at least one of the 2 roads to Salamanca, because now we're starting the 11th turn, so 10 to go, but probably we end for the lack of time. We will see. Anyway, 11th turn is going to begin. Oh, the Dragoon started a movement in circle the center and offer support to his parent light cavalry division, and they are relatively flash, so they could help to broke the cotton heavy cavalry. The British are really under pressure, really under pressure. We will see. The 11th turn, so the 3rd division route after a roll of 1 on his activation. Then few movement all around. The Dragoon has moved half of their movement, full movement. No, half of their movement, and just encircle the Los Serapil, and are now quite in position. For the fight on the top of the hill, so a last movement, the 4th division take the place of the 4th and fight, killing one of the guard battalion, and another battalion of the 7th division was destroyed, while 3 of the British battalion was repelled in disorder, 2 on the top of the hill and 1 of the 6th division. 1 of the French Légers on the Chicos Arapil was repelled by the British, and that's it. Nothing else happened on this turn. Bombardment from the artillery or skirmish fire result practically. No, sorry, I forgot. This battery here destroyed 1 of the heavy cavalry of Cotton, and the rest of the bombardment and skirmish fire was completely ineffective. And now moving into 12th turn and half an hour of game, because temperature is rising up, and probably we cannot get the 21st turn, so we'll see a couple of turns per part probably, and then we call out the game. With the sheer force of desperation, the British held the line another turn, destroying 1 battalion of the 8th division and pushed back 2 of them in disorder, while the 6th division, the Portuguese, destroy 1 battalion of the 2nd division and push back another 1. Nothing happened on the Chicos Arapil, is ineffective. The 3rd division is still on a route. They roll very poorly, so still on a route. Here the 6th division finally charged the Spanish, covered himself in shame, because 1 is repelling disorder and the other make nothing, despite the Spanish are rated D, while most of the 6 are elite, are leger, so they are rated B. And with movement, finally the Dragoon are in sight of the heavy cavalry and in range to charge the next turn. And that's it. Now the clocks say that are 5 o'clock. We are playing since 8 in the morning, so this that is going to start will be the last turn of the battle. We played the 13th turn, we end the 7th turn earlier, but it is what it is. The heat is very intense and the time is running low. So the last turn of the game. The game is over with a bad taste in the mouth of the French, because it was a very bad turn for the French. The 8th division roll 1 and rout on the verge of the success on the hill. The 4th division managed to do nothing, so in the end the 1st and the 7th British division wins a Pyrrhic victory, held this high ground, but cannot take the Los Arapel or anything else. The 6th division, when finally charged, the Spanish have a mixed bag of results, because 2 of their battalions were destroyed and destroyed 2 Spanish battalions. The fatigue of the French heavy cavalry did nothing, because both the assault and nothing happens, so they were disordering return, and the 3rd division have the Pyrrhic victory to destroy 1 battalion with the fire. And essentially that's it on the Chicos Arapel. Still say chicken. Sorry. On the Chicos Arapel, the British and the French still fight, but the top of the hill is on the French, and nothing else happened. Now I proceed to make the final score, but I suppose that it was a French victory, a small victory for the French, but back in a sec with the final score. And that's it. The final score is a difference between the French and the British of 530 points in French favor. It was a very interesting battle, because the British probably stayed too conservative at the beginning and left the French to take the Los Arapel. But dice in the first half of the game was very hard for French, and granted them to inflict a lot of casualties in the British and safely take the 2 Arapel and put so many men around the Los Arapels that it's quite impossible for the British to break this net. The 2 cavalry, the number of light cavalry and the good roll at the beginning also changed in their favor the fight against the cotton heavy cavalry, and when both the units charged in, many times they did nothing but spend and consume divisional point, and at the end both the cavalry division is at 9 divisional points, so risking an activation is quite suicidal, especially because both the cavalry protect essentially the flank for their army. So that's it. I had to say that Thomiéres, without blunder, make a good result, help in protecting the flank and inflict some early casualty in the 5th division, and that left the job done for the 5th and the 8th. I lost an entire division with a bad roll, but it is what it is. The British rout 2 of their division, and 2 were reduced so badly. The 4th of Colin and Halton division was out of the game practically for the half of the entire battle, because with 3 units left and a few points, risking them in suicidal charge will offer a possibility to break through for the French, and I prefer to left them in a desperate side reserves if the center collapse. And the center is on the verge of collapsing, but the British Guard and British Highlander, even in this scale of game, shine for their ethos and their morale. And so that is, this changed a little bit the story of the peninsula with this winning of Mormont against Wellington. So Wellington never lost a battle again except today, which face me and the face of Marshal Mormont. And that's it. I'm sure that I will pay this luck of the dice this evening when I have a game with my friend Mark. Will probably steamrolling me because I cannot roll so good 2 times in a row. That's it. Thank you for watching. Happy wargaming and see you as soon as possible. Bye bye.